আমাদের এই সেশনে আজকে 4টে পেপার আছে, যদিও এটা টাইটেল হচ্ছে ইন্ডাস্ট্রি ইনস্টিটিউশন লিঙ্কেজ ফর ম্যাচিং কোয়ালিফিকেশন উইথ অকুপেশন। ইজ ভেরি ডিফিকাল্ট, সাবজেক্ট ইজ ডিফিকাল্ট। ইফ এনি ওয়ান অফ ইউ, আপনাদের মধ্যে কেউ যদি অলরেডি কোনো ইনস্টিটিউটে থেকে থাকে বা আপনাদের কারোর যদি ইন্ডাস্ট্রির সঙ্গে কোনো লিঙ্কেজ হয়ে থাকে, ইফ এনি ওয়ান অফ ইউ হ্যাভ লিঙ্কেজ উইথ ইন্ডাস্ট্রি, then you understand that industry defines occupations in the way they like, and the institutions, TVET institutions, the way they train people, is very difficult to make a match between how industry calls them and how TVET institutions address them as a graduate. As a result, we are not in a position to understand what is the skills mismatch, what is the skills match. I mean, it's almost difficult. That is why the statistical system itself is also not emerging. Today, the first paper is long-term employment opportunities in the industries Bangladesh context by Ms. Rumana Sandhi, results and knowledge management expert, access to information, PMO. The second paper is a study to identify strengths and challenges for implementation of recognition of prior learning, reference to the selected government technical training centers in Bangladesh by Ms. Mariam Sarkar, research student, and Dr. Mohammad Abu Raihan, Associate Professor, Department of TVE at IUT. Third paper is Enterprise-Based Institute, a sustainable model for implementing NPBQF in Bangladesh by Ms. Khadija, Program Officer ILO. And the fourth paper is Study on Ceramics Skills Demand by Dr. Horipodo Das, Chief Technical Advisor ILO Office in Nairobi, Kenya, and Mohammad Ali Azam Khan Mujahadi, Junior Instructor, Bangladesh Institute of Glass and Ceramics, and E.M. Faisal, Assistant Professor, Textile Engineering College, Noakhali. So with this introduction, let me have the opportunity to kindly hand over the session to the chairperson. But where are the paper presenters? Can I request them to come here? Sorry, I think your dates are there, no? Yeah. So please do take the place. So may I now request the first presenter, Rumana Sandhi, to present the paper long-term employment opportunities in the industry Bangladesh context.
Before you start, if I may just say so, I will exercise the authority invested in me by the organizers as chair to be really strict about the timing, because today being Friday, those of you who are going to pray, the London Salah is at around, it has to be finished at 12:45, so we have about 1 hour. So please do not mind.
Yes, sure.
You will have about 10 to 12 minutes.
Okay, thank you very much. So, good morning, dear all. Assalamu alaikum and Rumana Sandhi on behalf of Access to Information Program. I'm just going directly to the study. We just conducted a study on long-term employment opportunities in the industries, and it is obviously on Bangladesh context. And you already aware that AY and BESA are working together. So it is necessary to know what the existing situation is. The research conducted to assess the potentiality of decent employment and to assess the existing major and professional experience and skills of the employees of the industries, and to identify the the initiatives taken by the industry already. And it is obviously has become a global phenomena, not a new for Bangladesh as well. We already know that Bangladesh government is committed to work along with several commitments like 7 5-year plan, SDGs, etc. to reach it to a developed country. I'm not going into detail. So it has a plan to establish 100 economic zones by 2030, and to create 1 million employment opportunities and to generate $40 billion export earnings per year, and to encourage rapid economic development. To assess about current human resource skills and the industries, to improve the human resource skills for achieving future goals are important to be explored. We conducted this study, and we collected information both from primary and secondary sources, and our main respondent was industry authority. Related to the findings, we found that we categorized the industry into 15 categories, and the main product we found that frozen foods and plastic products are significantly produced in Bangladesh nowadays. If we see the existing skill nature, we can see that most of the senior level of employees have post-graduation and above degrees, which is very consistent, and most of the senior level employees have skill in office management and direction, and most of the mid-level employees has accountancy competency. At junior level, they have machines and tools operation competency. That is also very consistent. The 31% authority informed us that they feel that there are lacks in skills. So they mentioned some lacking areas like machine operation, professional skill. So there is some scope to work with it. So it is very encouraging that most of the industries have planned to enhance the skill of employees, and the industries will arrange training and will recruit helper for increasing production as well. If we can focus on the preferred criteria for recruiting employees, education and qualification and skill have been preferred as the important criteria for senior and junior level employees, and the experience for mid-level employees. We just assessed that this is forecasted. This is estimated data. This is forecasted that the industries will need about 2 lakh plus junior level, 7,000 plus mid-level, and 4,000 plus senior level employees in next 5 years. So the industries, while recruiting this employee number, industries may face some challenges, like they think that they feel that they may not have enough training. The industries may face challenges to recruit about 22,000 junior level, the 600 plus mid-level, and 400 senior level employees for this reason. So they suggested that the challenge can be overcome by established training centers, and we estimated that if we go forward like this, then 24 training centers will be required. And we also forecasted that if there is a direction, we explored through this research that if 3 months based hand-based training conducted or organized, and if it is in 2 shifts, 8 batches per year, and 25 to 30 employees in per class, then 200 skilled employees will be derived from each of these training centers per year. So this is very important direction, I think. And we analyze the benefit if industry recruit trained employees. So benefit, they mentioned that maximum utilization of raw materials raw materials can be ensured by trained employees. They also mentioned that productivity increases by trained employees, quality of product increases, business revenue increases, and even industries may get some profit, like they can increase their profit and production cost will be saved, efficient use of raw materials and quality of product will be ensured. So on the basis of the empirical data, we just recommending some strategic guideline, not necessarily that all of them are followed strictly, but we are just mentioning. Like for Bangladesh Economic Zones Authority, sensitization program for industries to invest in economic zones can be undertaken. Industries can be assisted to create employee opportunities in terms of skill development, and sufficient place to be allocated to those industries in newly established economic zone. Measurement to be undertaken to attract national, international and joint investors. For industrial authority, we feel that on the basis of empirical data, human resource capability should be improved through training and orientation program for newly recruited employees. Career group and training centers and higher experts could be established for building capacity. Policies and labor rules formulated by government should be properly followed. Training needs assessment should be undertaken on a regular basis. Technological know-how of the employees to be ensured. Better working environment to be ensured. And lastly, for Bangladesh government, land acquisition process and industrial loan process should be easier. Institutional capacity of specialized training centers to be enhanced. Database of existing industries, employees, existing capacity, required capacity should be documented to proper utilization of HR properly. Government can introduce incentives for building capacities of newly introduced economic zones. Government must take measurement to protect the small and medium enterprise. Government should apply strict laws to have the efficient treatment plan by the industries to avoid the negative impact on water, environment and ecology while production. So I was very speedy, sorry for that, for the interest of the time. Thank you very much for your patience. I'll be waiting for your questions. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum everybody. I am Muriam Sarkar, research student. Me research student. So I am doing research topic. Some research. My research topic name. I started to identify strengths, challenges for implementation of recognition of prior learning. References to the selected government technical training centers in Bangladesh. So first time, RPM. UNESCO defined recognition of RPM. The formal acknowledgement of skills, knowledge and competencies that are gained through work experience, informal training and life experience. The Skills and Training Enhancement Project under the Directorate of Technical Education has Bangladesh Training and Educational Board Accredited Assessment Center approved for RPL assessment, where RPL activities run with the financial assistance of state for 3 days, 2 days orientation and 1 day test. For a batch of 20 individuals in one occupation. State initiated the RPL program for the first time in Bangladesh in September 2014. The current draft of RPL assessment aims to review the whole RPL process, conducted through the financial assistance of state in order to identify strengths and limitations, to determine how effective and participatory the program intervention, and to make recommendation for action needed for better implementation of RPL. there are some RPL process in Bangladesh. How to process RPL in Bangladesh? First time, submission of application by the candidates. This steps advertisement for RPL. Review of application and sort out by institute trainer. Then 2 days orientation for assessment provided by the institute trainer. Then 1 day assessment by BTAB assessor using pre-designed assessment tools developed by BTAB. Then some partial competence, then some fully competent. When partial competence, then statement achievement. But when fully competent, then competency certificate get. Reason for topic selection. When topic selection was in Bangladesh, the concept RPM in TPT is new. NSDP, National Skill Development Policy, 2011. National Skill Development Policy 2011 has laid emphasis on recognition of prior learning for bringing the thousands of skills heads under a one-size qualification framework and to provide them opportunities to enter formal training and enhance their skills. To implement something new always a matter of time. Till now, only 3 DDCs have been implementing the RPM in Bangladesh, and so there have no study conducted to identify strengths, challenges for implementation of RPM. Refers to the selected government DDC in Bangladesh. Significance of the study. This research will help to the growing body of knowledge around RPM and its wider implementation in technical education sector in Bangladesh. The study would provide benefit in various ways to the following groups. The Skill and Training Investment Project, Directorate of Technical Education, Technical Vocational Education Training, and Bureau of Manpower and Employment and Training, who are responsible for the facilitation of RPL implementation and monitoring. The RPL implementers, those who grapple with the realities and practicalities of RPL provisioning to enable them to improve their practice. The technical education academics, especially those dealing with curriculum development matters, as there is a need to integrate provisioning of RPL within the existing curriculum framework and designs. Objectives of the study. This is my aim objective. How to improve RPM. Specific objective this study follows to review the whole RPM process, to identify steps and limitations of the RPM, to identify how effective and participatory are the program intervention, to make recommendations for actions needed for better implementation of RPM. This is my objective. Me just thinking this objective, if I get some solution. Type of research. Quantitative research method will be used for the study. Research field. The study will be carried out in 3 government technical training centers in Bangladesh. Population. There is a population of both teachers, students, and assessors in mechanical trade course of the 3 technical training centers with 1,150 approximately. The RPL concept is only implemented in the following PDCs in Bangladesh. Bangladesh German PDC, Dhaka, Sheikh Mujibur Rahman Modi PDC, Dhaka, Bangladesh Korea PDC, Chittagong. Sample and sampling technique. Only the engineering trades of the selected EDCs will be chosen in the sample. 5 teachers, 10 students, and 2 assessors from each EDC will be selected purposefully in this sample. So the sample size will be 51 based on purposive sampling technique. Tour of research.
But can I ask you to, so you have about 4 or 5 minutes, so if you want to get to the recommendations, can you please be a little quicker? Is that okay? Yeah, thank you.
Tour of research. The researcher will structure questionnaire for data collection. The researcher will provide questionnaires to get necessary information to fulfill the objective of the research. Data collection procedure. Data will be collected by questionnaire from both teachers, students, and assessors. The questionnaire will be prepared for both teachers, students, and assessors as data collection tools. Data analysis. By using statistical data analysis formula such as mean, standard deviation, and chi-square test, the research will make necessary interpretations. SPC software will be used to address the data collection. This is my continuing research, ongoing research.
Ongoing research. Okay.
Ongoing research. So thank you. I have any questions? So please.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. We were thinking that there is going to be analysis. So well, great. This is fine. So we will then have an opportunity to ask questions about the research and provide inputs to the young lady to improve research. So thank you, Manima. Please have it. Thank you very much. Can I then now invite my colleague from ILO's country office in Bangladesh, Ms. Khadija, to tell us about enterprise-based institute, a sustainable model for implementing NTUF in Bangladesh. So Khadija, this is over to you, and if you can give me 1 more minute, I can also introduce Khadija to you in a bit. So Khadija has joined the ILO Bangladesh as Program Officer of a Sustainability Compact for Continuous Improvements in Labour Rights and Factory Safety in the Ready-Made Garment and Knitwear Industry in Bangladesh in June 2014. She has, over the last 3 years, taken up responsibility as Core Program Officer's contributions towards Bangladesh country officer skills, indigenous people's projects and other such projects. She has over 15 years of experience in planning, designing, implementing, managing project program, monitoring and evaluating projects. And she has also joined ILO with gender and equality expertise from UN Women in Bangladesh. So, Khadija, over to you. You also have about 12 minutes.
Thank you. Assalamu alaikum. Very good afternoon to Honorable Session Chair Snehal. I will actually, because we have short time, I will actually straightly go to the presentation. I will try to take the opportunity to talk about the enterprise-based training, which has been very newly introduced in the garments industry. Enterprise-based training has proven to be a sustainable model for implementing the National Technical Vocational Qualification Framework in Bangladesh, which has been established as an in-house model for building skilled workforce for the garment industry. Enterprise. So enterprise-based training is a system of training established within the factory premises itself to help companies meet the skill development needs of their workers and employees. By establishing in-house training that is provided to national standards, both employers and employees alike can benefit. EVT creates opportunities for helpers to become skilled workers. Existing workers can benefit from the in-house facility to upgrade their skills through competency-based training, which can lead to higher wages. EVT also creates opportunities for recognition of prior learning, which recognizes learning that has come from experience and or previous formal, non-formal, or informal learning. New entrants can also take advantage of skills training through an apprenticeship program. An EBT center requires a dedicated training space of at least 2,500 square feet. For setting up the training lines, a separate space for conducting the theoretical classes, an office, sewing machines, tools and equipment, learning materials, teaching aids, along with a number of trainers who are certified in providing competency-based training and assessment. Here we have seen that industry, garment industry themselves have taken ownership of setting up these training institutes at their own industries, which actually has, in average, for the 10 companies which has joined us, joined this program, incurs basically almost 4 crore of running expenses to run those institutions itself. So these are basically the breakdown of the administrative costs as well as the other related program learning costs. Training provided by the EBT centers need to meet national standards and to be certified as a RTO, which is a registered training organization by the Bangladesh Technical Education Board, by fulfilling specific requirements and following guidelines as part of the NTBQF and provisions of the National Skills Development Policy. Accreditation as an RTO not only allows the enterprises to run NTBQF qualification, but it is a clear recognition of the enterprise's commitment towards worker skills development, better business, inclusivity, and sustainable growth. Performance of the trainees. Move too fast. Sorry about that. Performance of trainees is assessed by external assessors, authorized by BTEP. And trainees have to pass an assessment to obtain certificates. EBT courses commonly last 2 months or equivalent of 360 hours of instruction. The Center of Excellence for Bangladesh Apparel Industries, SIBAI, has introduced EBT into 10 apparel companies in Bangladesh on a pilot basis. Competency-based training is being provided on sewing machine operator level 1. A total of 4,329 workers have been trained through these EBT centers to date. SIBAI was established in 2014 to help meet the changing needs of the Bangladesh garment sector as it seeks to move up the value chain. SIBAI helps meet the need for skilled labor force in the R&D sector by providing competency-based training in areas where demand of the industry is the greatest. SIBAI is run by the government of Bangladesh Garments Manufacturer Exporters Association, BGMEA, and supported by the ILO and funded by the Swedish government and H&M through its Center of Excellence of R&D Project Initiatives. In response to the request of BTEB and BGMEA, the apex body of the R&D sector, the initiative itself has sought to enhance the provision on basic sewing machine operator methods in the R&D sector, which were generally considered outdated. Various training curricula and courses were developed and reviewed with close collaboration from the private sector to facilitate enterprise-based training workplace learning, and the initiatives were trained and certified 105 industry trainers on competency-based trainings and assessment mechanism. These trainers are contributing to the development of skills in the R&D sector to help implement national standard under NTBPF, while the Bangladesh Technical Education Board also uses these assessors, industry assessors, for any assessment that take place. The success of this pilot EBT operation highlights the need for the EBT model to be scaled up and made available to the whole industry. In that process, we would need full assistance for the industry apex bodies to encourage their member factories to incorporate this sustainable model of skills enhancement into their operation. We would also need assistance from the government mechanism to facilitate that the costs that the involved industries have to incur in running these EBT training can be reduced to the minimum level. I would actually stop here and would keep the opportunity to respond back if any of the participants have any questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Karanja. May I now invite the last paper presenter for to come and present the paper. This is Mr. Muhammad Ali Azam Khan Mujahidi, who is the junior instructor at the Bangladesh Institute of Glass and Ceramic Industries at KM Faisal, and this at present the paper on study on the ceramic sector skills demand. This is also co-written by Dr. Haripala Das, the Chief Technical Advisor for ILO's office in Nairobi, Kenya. Some of you may know, was here, and KM Faisal, Assistant Professor Textile Engineering College, Northern. And as Mr. Mujahidi prepares his presentation, let me also tell you a little bit about him. Mr. Mujahidi has more than 16 years of teaching experience and industry experience in the field of ceramics. He is also working as a career guidance counselor and employment support service officer under one of the projects of ILO under DTE, and also as a job placement officer for the STEP project, which was referred to by Romanaji in the presentation. And he has done a PhD, postgraduate diploma in human resource management from BIM Bangladesh, and MBA from Jose Rizal University in the Philippines. And he has a BSc in engineering and mechatronics in Kuala University of Bangladesh, Dhaka. And last but not the least, the Bangladesh Institute of Ceramics is also something that one number of us have had the opportunity to visit. So, Mr. Mujahidi, over to you.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. The Honorable Session Chair, Snehal P. Sanjay, and the Honorable Mr. Manu Bhattacharya, and the participants and the audience. Good morning, everybody. I am presenting my study on ceramic sector skills demand, where 4 members prepared this study. And my content is ceramic sector brief, importance of ceramic sector, and background of the study, scope of the study, objectives of study, methodology of study, findings and recommendation, conclusion. First of all, ceramic sector brief. We know that the jute and tea was our main export-oriented sector was Bangladesh, but now ceramic sector is the booming sector in export earning sector in Bangladesh, and last 2013-14, approximately 48 million US dollar they are earning for export, from export, and it's growing up. So the figure mentioned there, the ceramic product is different fiscal year, the gradually upward, and the importance of skills for ceramic sector. Our ceramic sector, there is direct involvement in skilled manpower in the 50,000, and indirect employment on this sector is 5 lakhs, and 80% of the total production they meet the local demand, and also they are exporting, and the skilled manpower is very essential for the production, the good quality of competitive world market. The background of the study, is a project funded by Canada, Government of Canada, implemented by ILO, and supporting government and of Bangladesh. Selected the project for Bangladesh Institute of Glass and Ceramic. They chose the partner institute for the employee support service system, and on this project we are decide create a database for industry, ceramic sector industries, and also know about the skills demand and job market. The scope of this study, this report is purpose to know the overview this kind of companies, the companies global competitiveness, and geographical location, size, nature of ownership, type of product, type of training required, such like that. And objectives of this study, the general objectives was the development of industry database and skills demand of ceramic sector in Bangladesh, and the specific objective is to provide the information scenario about the ceramic industry. They categorize the ceramic sector workforce status to identify the skills need and trend to ceramic industry, to search the necessary training required for developing skills manpower. The methodology for the we're just following the structural questionnaire for face-to-face interview. The ceramic institute faculty member, collected the data from the 38 industry enterprise out of 60 industries, and collected data, processed by tabulation, and use IBM SPSS and Excel, and we are following the qualitative data analysis. Findings: the ceramic industry type of company or by ownership. We mentioned there that 63% of the industry they are located in Dhaka, and they are private limited company, and 29% is public limited company, and some other companies is ownership by own partnership, or the partnership with the foreign investment. And ceramic industry type of product, there is some kinds of products here. The ceramic tableware, the heavy clay products, ceramic tiles, glass, sanitary ware, ceramic insulator, and ceramic links. In the 38 responding companies, there are 26% of the ceramic tiles industry. The majority production is going for tiles industry. Geographical distribution of ceramic factories. The 68% of ceramic industry is situated on the Dhaka and Gazipur based, and other 32% is around all over the country, is like Chittagong, Sylhet, Satkhira, Nilphamari, Mymensingh, Tangail, and Narayanganj. Development of ceramic industry in Bangladesh. At first, 1959, the established first ceramic industry is named as the Tajma ceramic industry at Bogura, but now it is already closed. But now the ceramic industry, almost 60 industries, the bigger industry, and almost 200 industries, small cottage industry. Have Bangladesh, and the growing of the ceramic industries from 1951 to 2015 is growing here. The cumulative growth is very high, and now it's very much demanded sector. Growth of ceramic product in Bangladesh in terms of the BDT. The 2000 we collected data from industry, the 5 years previous data from 2011 to 2015. So their production in Dhaka is upgrading. Is 2011 was 1,559 crores. And now this 2015 is 2,484 crores. Export orientation, or out of 38 industries, there are 42% they are exporting their product, and 58% industries they are not exporting. Export growth is gradually up in export growing in ceramic sector. In terms of BDT, in 2011 it was 192 crores, and now it are 341 crores in 2015. It's increasing for 34% to 44%. 5 years increasing. Employees in ceramic industries, there is now, I mentioned there before, the 50,000 employees, they are working in this field for direct employment, but our sample was 38 industries. These 38 companies, they're working 25,941 employees. Out of 25,941, 19,259 or 74% is male employees, and 26 is female employees. Category-wise manpower, there I mentioned there are some levels of manpower working. Is manager position, technical position, and marketing position, worker position, technician level, and others. So the maximum position is the worker position. They are working is almost 13. Almost 13.1 and foreign workers in the ceramic industry in Bangladesh. As foreign workers is 52% in foreign workers in working for Indian nationalities, and Chinese nationalities 30%, and other nationalities is Sri Lanka 4%, and Philippines and Indonesia is 2%, or 40 out of 38 industries. Only 10 industries they are working foreign workers, and in 10 companies, 47 foreign employees they are working. The position is highest level of management or technical position, accounting position, modeling position, also as well as the ISO certification level they are working. And employment pattern in ceramic sector, I mentioned there the hierarchy of the employment pattern, but every industry their position is different. So I just mentioned the level of the position, the project manager, general manager, DGM, AGM, the highest level, and lowest level is the high skill technician, skilled labor, unskilled labor, and others.
Mr. Vajadi, I will ask you to go quickly to the recommendations and conclusions, because I am concerned we have to finish in 15 minutes. I want to invite some questions in the chair from the audience also.
Thank you, sir. I will skip some slides for the limited time. I just show the headlines. Employment recruitment behavior, vacancies in 2016, problem facing and fill up the vacancies, type of problem facing in fill up the vacancies, and shortage of proper skills in the problem recruitment, future need of skills manpower in ceramic industry, in company training, type of training provided in 2014 and 15, training needs, most preferable areas of training listed by industry, provision of skill training in ceramic sector, areas of training needs, future skills needs, recruitment process in ceramic company, causes of recruitment through personal communication, and recommendation.
Yeah, so let's go through the recommendations.
Yeah. We have 5 recommendations for skills demand in ceramic sector. Skills provide need to improve quality of training for both present and in the future. They improve the quality of training. The skill provider can develop training program to ensure the needs of their company. Training providers, they develop the training program. Capacity strengthening is required for the teachers and trainers in the PIGC for unmet demands of skills manpower in the industry. The capacity build up strengthening for teachers and staff and trainers. Industry institute linkage is required for contribute the curriculum import. The traditional curriculum, there is no involvement in industries, but now is demand for the curriculum imports from industries. Skill providers need to generate skill training program for technical level, technicians level in ceramic sector. The technician level, there is no scope to training or study in Bangladesh. So we recommended that the skill providers need to generate skills training program for technician level. Conclusion. So ceramic sector as a emerging sector in exporting to skill, it is essential to strengthen industry institute linkage, The training institutes should be responsible for the ensure that the industry gets people with right kind of technical skills. Only then the industry will develop trust and will really more and more on the Tibet Institute to supply human resource with advanced skill. So I am waiting for the question and thank you for attention.
Okay, thank you Mr. Madani and thank you all the other presenters as well. We have about 10 minutes to have any questions from the floor. Please state your name and please tell me to whom the question is directed to, and we will be happy to do that. The gentleman on the left.
Engineer Noor Kabir.
Are we going to provide a mic or are we going to provide a mic? On a mic here. See, please tell your name please first.
Engineer Noor Kabir. I question to the one ILO and EV. Madam, how to describe about national standard in Bangladesh? National standard, EBT, means national standard. You tell us national investor. Now, what to mean national standard? And second question, how can help ILO in EBT in Bangladesh? What type of help ILO, EBT in Bangladesh? Yes.
Okay, thank you. Maybe I seek the permission of the presenters to take all the questions together so that we can then respond. Is it okay? Okay, the gentleman in the front again, and I notice, and I do want to notice that there are no women in the audience, which I think is a sad state of affairs. But anyway.
I'm Abdul Handan Khan, Principal Chair, Polytechnic Institute. My question to Ms. Kamala Sharmin. She mentioned 31% lack of skilled manpower in the industry. But how to resolve this problem? You mentioned three month hands-on training in training center. But the training center exists in our country is not properly equipped. And I think there is no resource person that meet the demand of industry. Thank you.
Thank you. Romani, you got that question? Okay, good. Just hold on to the question. Gentleman on the right.
Assalamualaikum. Thank you very much. I am Julian Gulwala, comes from Switzerland. I work as a student engineer, currently gas distribution program. My question to Ms. Rumana Salim. Madam, we are looking about Bangladesh government take a large work done to development our industries in economic zones, 100 economic zones established in all over the Bangladesh. Now, my question was there, a large amount of economic zone is best in Bangladesh, but our technical manpower is very less. And how to improve at IDP and Colombo staff plans, college, they are only they are heads this seminar to direct and technical vocational educational training, and government and our government how to manage this large amount of manpower, how to manage. Thank you very much. My question, thank you very much.
Okay, great. One more last question here because we only have 5 more minutes and then we would need you. Okay, 2 more, that's it. So maybe the gentleman here first and then I'll come to you, sir. And then I would ask the presenters to be brief because I do also want the opportunity to summarize for 60 seconds. Gentleman here.
I am Tomal Ahmed, Islamabad District from Bangladesh. My question, opinion is that National Technical Professional Qualification Framework, here level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is within the polytechnic and professional industry. But I can say that there is a gap. The professional engineers and the mathematicians, those who are the innovating manpower of the world that come to respective firms. But I would like to know, perhaps a mathematician and professional engineers are not included from within this level, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I asked to Bangladesh government whether there is any program to include the higher potential or meritorious or manpower within this work to guide or to innovate. My second question is, the ILO is publishing a international standard classification of movements.
Yeah.
The job analysis and job definition of the respective manpower, technical or non-technical, managerial. Whether Bangladesh technical education is standardized, is a standardized or thrive related to the ISO.
Okay.
Oh, ISO.
Yeah, I understand.
I am very happy to implement the ISO standard classification operation in the Bangladesh to develop and enhance the training and detailed program of the Bangladesh technical education. Thank you.
Thank you. And I presume you are directing that question to the colleague of ILO.
ILO and the government of Bangladesh.
The government of Bangladesh as well. So I think we will have to take that bit of it. And the last question here, and this is really the last question, I will then ask Sharmeen because we have had maximum questions to go first.
Assalamualaikum. I am Siddiq Hussain, subdivision engineer, Bangladesh Power Development. I would like to question about ceramic industry. I think so. I saw that there is lots of problems in Bangladesh with managerial level and technical level. What would be the necessary action to solve this problem in Bangladesh? We want that Bangladeshi people will know about the ceramic sites and they will solve the problem of ceramic site. And export growth is very high. So we have to look for this ceramic industry to develop our country. And it is very much necessary in this time to solve this problem about managerial level, technical level. How it is possible? Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So that is going to be for you, Mr. Mujahid. First I will ask Sharmeen to come, and then Haliapa you, and then Mujahid yourself. So Sharmeen, over to you. Here, you can use this mic.
Thank you all for your precious questions. The first question was about research person's capacity or skill. So I'd like to state that we conducted this study focusing on the skill needs assessment, and it was an eye-opening for all of us. So we have lots of data and lots of recommendation for each and every stakeholders, and I'm sorry that I couldn't be able to mention all of those. So we mentioned already that all the relevant stakeholders, including research persons, should have efficient or sufficient technical knowledge about it. So I think your question already is inbuilt in our recommendation. It will cover. And economic zone, the second question, you already raised that Bangladesh government is going to establish 100 economic zones, and this is a collaborative work to be done by BESA, A2I, CPSC, IDB. All the stakeholders we need together to work together. So maybe from this conference I'm getting this insight that or direction that or A2I or BESA will get all necessary support from all relevant stakeholders like you. As you mentioned this question, I'm treating this that you have all interest to work with us. And the your question was how to manage this large volume of manpower. I think we are going through gradually, not overnight. We are planning for change. So it will be, it is our focus, and it is also Bangladesh government's focus as well. And at any time you can suggest us how to proceed on. So it will be great if you state your suggestion to us, and if you raise your hands or extend your shoulders, we will welcome you at any time, at any moment. But I missed the last question, sorry for that. If time permits, then...
So that was, his questions were directed towards Khadijappa, and then the second bit was, the question was what is government of Bangladesh doing to define its own occupations and how they classify it with the international standards, the ISCU,
Okay. We are going through all the opportunities to capture on. So if you have interest and if you have time, we can talk to you separately regarding this issue. We have lots of plan on this issue. So I'm requesting you to talk to you separately on this particular issue. Thank you very much.
Can you please approach her after the seminar? She can explain more to you. Is it okay?
Are you satisfied?
Yeah. Okay, great. So let me ask Khadijappa. I believe you already have mic. So great. Go for it. You have exactly 2 minutes.
Thank you very much. আপনার কোয়েশ্চনটা ছিল হচ্ছে NTBQ EBT তে আমরা কিভাবে কোন লেভেলের
Bangladesh standard, just Bangladesh standard.
জি NTB
National standard means Bangladesh level.
জি বাংলাদেশ স্ট্যান্ডার্ড মিনস হলো যে যেটা NTBQF এর আন্ডারে আছে সেটা aligned with the National Skills Development Policy of 2011. এই টেকনিক্যাল ট্রেনিং গুলা যেটা সার্টিফাইড হয় সেই ট্রেনিং গুলাকে দিয়ে শুরু করা হয়েছে EBT-তে। আর আপনার সেকেন্ড পার্ট কোয়েশ্চন ওয়াজ অন how the initiative SIBAI has assisted in establishing these EBTs. Basically, it has, as I've mentioned, it was a pilot initiative with the 10 industries. We have basically assisted the industries throughout the process.
We means ILO.
We means the initiative of SIBAI, the initiative that is supported, implemented by the government of Bangladesh, supported by ILO, funded by the SIDA. This initiative of SIBAI has supported the full establishment of the EBT at the 10 factories, starting from registering them as an RTO with BTEC, the training of trainers, the assessment process, the process of assessment for the assessors, the whole process, including regular monitoring and follow-up. So basically, so that we can bring out the good practices and introduce and scale it up to other industries of the government. Thank you.
Thanks.
एक सेंटेंस হবে না হলে আপনি ওদের নাম্বার দিয়ে দেন আপনার সেপারেটলি কথা বলে নেবেন।
থ্যাংক ইউ স্যার। আমি এক কথা যদি বলতে চাই, আমি আমার রিকমেন্ডেশনে দেখেছি সিরামিক সেক্টরে ম্যানেজারিয়াল পজিশন বা টেকনিক্যাল পজিশনে যে গ্যাপটা আছে সেটা আসলে স্কিল শর্টেজ এবং ম্যানেজারিয়াল যে ক্যাপাসিটি সেটা শর্টেজ। এই শর্টেজ দূর করার জন্য একমাত্র পদ্ধতি হচ্ছে এই সেক্টরের উপরে হায়ার স্টাডি ব্যবস্থা করা, এবং গভর্নমেন্ট যদি ইনস্টিটিউট সংখ্যা বাড়ায় তাহলে পর্যাপ্ত ম্যান পাওয়ার পাওয়া যাবে। যেহেতু আমরা জানি যে বাংলাদেশে একমাত্র ইনস্টিটিউট গ্লাস এন্ড সিরামিকে, এই ইনস্টিটিউটে এখান থেকে ডিপ্লোমা ইঞ্জিনিয়ারিং কোর্স করানো হয় এবং সাম্প্রতিক সময় রুয়েটে গ্রাজুয়েশন কোর্স চালু করা হয়েছে সিরামিক্সে। যদি আরো অন্যান্য ইউনিভার্সিটিতে এই কোর্সগুলি চালু করা হয় তাহলে আমাদের যে গ্রোয়িং যে সেই কাজের সাথে ম্যাচ করে আমরা স্কিলটাকে প্রোভাইড করতে পারবো। থ্যাংক ইউ।
ওকে, এখন সময় হয়ে গেছে summary. I don't have time to provide a summary, but I think the key point that was made there was that the linkage between industry and the qualification is really critical. I think some of the presentations could have been more focused on this particular issue. Jai Ho, this is just the second day of the 3-day conference. I hope you found this informative. With this, I pass it back to the presentator to take over the proceedings and drive it to the closure.
Yeah, thank you very much. In fact, there was a question on occupational classification. You have seen BSCO, no? Bangladesh Standard Occupational Classification.
Yeah, right there in the publication.
That BBS has published. So if you look at that, you will find that there is a correlation table with the international classification. That ISCO and Bangladesh, they have been clustered together in that same publication. Okay. But these classifications need to be updated from time to time because this was again some years back. So again, new effort is needed, new occupations are changing, new technologies coming. So it has to be updated. But there exists one already, BSCO, which is by BBS, Bangladesh Bureau of Statistics, and ILO supported that. Okay, and I'm very glad. I mean, for excellent feedback from there. Only our researcher expected that somebody will actually give suggestion for her to progress with the research further. But that didn't come. But please do, if you have any suggestion about research after this session, you can meet her and just pass on your suggestion. Before we end, just along with thanks, I would request that just to memorize this pleasant occasion with all of you to be together, we have a small function of handing over mementos. So may I just request Chairman to please kindly hand over the mementos to guests and participants. Mariam Shokar. Khadija Banka. Shaheen Mojadi. Chairperson who managed it in the most efficient manner I have ever come across. Any chairperson. What a fantastic time to be.
Right, the scientists are the place.
And I'll get my package for us. Facilitator is supposed to facilitate, but not to really accept the mentors. I'm very sorry. There are some people who don't want to come forward. He is actually very close to us, and we meet him on many official occasions. So, many thanks and contributing immensely to this. And thank you very much to all the presenters. Excellent presentation, lot of new dimensions, and it shows Bangladesh is going ahead. Not only from every direction, but also intellectually. And we are really, going ahead to fulfill the dream of the Prime Minister, Honorable Prime Minister. And sir, many thanks for chairing this occasion, and also our colleagues from IDB and for volunteers who have been with us and who made this occasion a great success.